Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. All right, as soon as I looked up at my screen, the time says 1:11. So that means something specifically to some of you. To me, that means that this reading is definitely going to be in alignment with what's happening in the collective, and in alignment with the reading that I actually just posted. It was about the divine feminine and what she is processing when it comes to money and abundance and things right now. So if you resonate with this reading, make sure that you go over and you watch that one as well. Today is January 23rd. We're outside of time right now. Echo, turn it down. Echo, turn it down. But so this reading is intended to be timeless, but I just want to give you a frame of reference in case you want to go back and look for the video if you're watching this later on. If you want to go back and look for the video for the Divine Feminine. Now, the energy that the Divine Feminine is working through, the karmic energy that she's working through, is directly connected to what the Divine Masculine is working through as well. So it's kind of important to integrate both of them, both of their struggles and what it is that they're healing right now, for a number of different reasons. We all have both polarities within us, so the divine masculine energy that you are kind of putting outside of yourself is also within you. So it may be that somewhere within you, you didn't realize that you have these things going on for yourself as well. And it's going to help to shine the light on those shadows that are not evident to you within your own personal divine masculine perspective. With that being said, I just want to thank you guys all for being here. Please make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already. You make sure that you hit like and comment, and I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate your support of the channel. It really does help for you guys to be doing those things. I started to pull the cards already. I wanted to get a feel for what he has going on, and I'm just going to dig in. I do have my music on right now. The station that they wanted me to put on is the Coldplay station. The song that's on right now is Fix You. So, and the line that he just said is, I will try to fix you. It's about the feeling that he has, the feeling of like a heavy responsibility to want to fix things for the feminine. Sometimes this comes from he doesn't know where this is coming from. It's just this innate need that he has to fix things, to fix the situation, to fix himself, to fix the feminine. And there is hints of distortion in that he feels like there's something that needs to be fixed. It may just be a reflection of what he feels coming from the connection between you guys, but he definitely is in an energy of wanting to feel like things are needing to be fixed, but it also feels like a stuck energy. Like he has a real need to do that, but he has no idea, number one, where that's coming from, and number two, how to go about doing that. It looks to me like the reason for that has to do with this. I pulled a current energy for the Divine Masculine Collective from my energy oracle cards. That's what they look like. Someone here needed to see that apparently. The blue is standing out for me. It may be that you have had a lot of blue, this color blue, the shade of blue showing up for you recently. That's validation for someone. They're showing me the color of the energy of the throat chakra. It could be that either you or this divine masculine is having trouble speaking his truth. He's having trouble speaking what it is that's sitting underneath of this feeling and this energy that he's going through. It's like it's just under the surface, but he can't nail it down. And so he's not communicating about it because he doesn't really know exactly what it is that he's experiencing right now. All he knows is that he feels a little bit off. The energy within him that is connected to his spirituality and connecting with the universe, it's off a little bit. He's been shifted off course for some reason. To me, especially connected with the reading that I just did for the Divine Feminines, it feels like a program, a matrix program that is meant to do that for him when he gets to a certain level of consciousness, a certain level of awareness, when he starts to see into the shadows and starts to connect the dots a little bit, like, wait a minute, that doesn't feel quite right. He gets knocked off course by some sort of matrix program that comes in, and it almost makes him dim his light, dim the light of the divine feminine. This is where the flow comes in. The program is meant to dim the light of the divine feminine so that she is less likely to speak her truth and shine her knowing, her intuition, her sight, her vision on a shadow aspect or something that might be going on within the divine masculine's realm in his life. So by dimming that, it gives him less awareness and him less sight to what the problem is. Now, just like you, the divine masculine has those polarities within himself as well. So it's his own inner divine feminine energy that is being dimmed in order to keep him small. They want to keep him in the dark. He's meant to be kept in the dark so that his spiritual growth is kind of stunted. It feels like religious programming. That's what the energy of this this card in reverse especially feels like. It's definitely connected to spirituality, but in reverse, and the way that this program, this matrix energy feels to me right now, it feels like it's connected to religious programming that is coming in order to run a certain kind of distorted masculine program in the background that the masculine can't see. He has no idea that he's running it, and so the way that he's acting and the energy, the light that he exudes is tainted with that program that's running that he doesn't even realize is running. I have a feeling I know what this is connected to. There's been a lot of... So the feminines have been working to clear sexual trauma energy, karmic trauma energy through the bloodlines within her, this lifetime, many, many, many lifetimes. But she's been working really hard and she's been aware of it and it's come to light and she's been working really hard to heal it. The divine masculine is a mirror of the divine feminine as well, and it feels like there are a lot of divine masculines who have sexual trauma in their past, somewhere in their childhood, somewhere that it's hidden, it's unseen. It's either that it was... I'm just listening to the song real quick. It just said, treat me like a stranger, and it feels so rough. It feels like it's connected to someone that he knows who was treating him like a stranger, something like that. I'll get back to that. Echo, turn it down. It could be that this trauma resides in the earlier years that he doesn't have recollection of, he doesn't have distinct memories of, that it could have been some kind of inappropriate behavior by someone when he was young that he can't remember. Or it is hidden in a kind of situation where he was taken advantage of or in a sexual way, dealt with in an inappropriate way by an authority figure or someone who was operating out of trauma themselves, pass that energy onto them. It's in the dark. It's not quite able to be seen as trauma because he didn't realize that the situation was wrong or that the situation was inappropriate, because the way that the masculine functions, especially in the younger years, the way that he processes emotions and love, they are directly connected to his physical body and physical sensations. So, especially in the teenage years, when he's coming into puberty and things like that, when his hormones are shifting and he resides a lot of times in his body, if a behavior, if an action towards him feels good, the program that's running is the fact that he doesn't realize that even though it felt good to his body, the intentions of the other person, the age of the other person, the situation itself was inappropriate, and he didn't know it. That's where the darkness is. That's where the light does not shine on that area, and his awareness is not clicked into the fact that that was a trauma for him. And so the experience of that is encoded into his system then, and he plays it out. He runs that program and plays it out in his behaviors, in his sexual experiences, in the way that he treats women and the feminines throughout his entire life without even realize that it's connected to that. He's passing that along, and the trauma energy that was imprinted on him, he then is imprinting on every feminine that he has a relationship with, especially a sexual relationship. And he just doesn't know it. That's what's been coming up in the last couple of weeks that they're really wanting me to shine the light on right now. It feels like the energy of that is surrounding this reading right now. So this is a little bit of a backstory for this reading, and I'm going to go into an extended reading just after this for you, the Divine Feminine, and what you can do to be supporting his healing in this area. And then I'm going to do it feels like this Divine Masculine has a special message for the Divine Feminine as well. We're going to do that in the extended reading. If you're interested in that, the link for that is going to be in the box below. Okay, so just a little bit of a backstory for this masculine. There's like happiness. He can feel the energy of his hopes and dreams. He's a successful person. He generally, in most areas of his life, is really happy and feels successful and wants to move things forward. He sees, but it's like he's not connected to these things in his body. He can see that the possibilities for those things are out there. Happiness, union, fulfillment, moving forward. But the energy of this Four of Cups kind of sits over top of all of them. It's almost like each one of these is each one of these cups. And he's looking at those, and he can feel he sees the magic of them and how it could be fulfilling in his life. It could be that this Divine Masculine, you guys are not in communication right now, or you're just not on the same page right now. He feels the energy and the connection between the two of you, just like you do. He can see that there's happiness laced in there. It's like all of his dreams and wishes come true right there in one person, in one relationship. The fairy tale is real to him. He sees it. He can see that it would be victorious, it would be successful, and he's always wanted something like this. This is how he, moves forward in his life and really experiences true love in his life. It's like he's looking at all of those things and he can see them, but he just has no idea why it feels so heavy. Why can I not then act on those things? Why can't I force these guys to move forward? He has no idea what it is. It's this program running in the background. He has no idea why he's looking here at all three of these things, and he can't make everything come together and function in a way that he's sitting still. He can't make himself move forward. He doesn't know what's holding him back. He doesn't realize that this cup sitting right over here is actually being offered to him, that this is the way to move forward. There's something in the background that he's just not seeing. It's right there next to him, but he's just not seeing it. That's the background of it. I also wanted to read just a little bit. They wanted me to read to you from the book, this Temple Path in Reverse. Receiving this card reversed is a sign that you may have fallen off your path. You can be too focused on worldly possessions and material gain, or you may simply be maintaining old, unhealthy habits of fear, limitation, worry, or doubt. And that's the aspects of that program that are running in the background, that there's fear, there's limitation, there's doubt. He just doesn't know why there is. Something is distracting him. These three things right here are distracting him. Whatever is distracting you, receiving this card reversed is a firm message that it's time to make your spiritual life and evolution a much higher priority. Not doing so represents an important loss of power. So that's the beauty of the program, is that the fact that he's been knocked off his path a little bit and doesn't know why, is kind of frustrated, doesn't really know how to push through this and push forward, keeps him smaller. It keeps him playing smaller, and it takes away his power. That's the program running on the divine feminine aspect of within him and outside of him, in you, the divine feminine, and it takes his power away. Let me see. Whatever else you may have going on, consider this an important part of your personal and tactical plans. The support and inspiration of all eternity and countless loving spirits are available to you. Not turning to them is like cursing the dark when you refuse to turn on the lights. So the aspect that I'm talking about that is related to the program is the fact that he wants to turn on the lights, but he just doesn't know how. He can't make his way to the switch. It's keeping him in the dark without him even realizing it. That's what they wanted me to point out with that one. So I'm going to get into this. This is the current energy. Yeah. This is the current energy. So the Devil card is addiction. It's, and this Devil card in this deck specifically, more so than any of the other tarot decks that I have, relates and has this feeling, this energy of sexual addiction, sexual distortion. It's definitely in his sacral chakra, and it limits his creative ability. It limits his ability to fully step into his power and his manifesting power, which is also directly related to sacred sexuality. The distortion lying in his sexual realm, in the darkness, stops him from being able to embrace sacred sexuality because he doesn't know that there's an issue there. That's his current energy. That's where he is. And it's like he can feel primal sexual drive, and he enjoys that. He links the idea of that with passion and sexuality. But when he gets into it, when he gets into that situation, a sexual situation with someone, that passion turns into, it's based in need. It's based in a desire to experience. It's connected to the trauma. It's trauma energy. So there's a desire to experience that first sexual experience that made his body feel so good. But underneath of it, there's unease, and he doesn't know where that comes from. This is the overlying energy. So this could mean many things. This could be a specific person's energy. This could be an older woman who is the source of this trauma for him, that is still involved in his life, or the energy that she kind of implanted there, like I was talking about, is still sitting over top of this and keeping him in the dark. It feels like it could be a successful woman who could have been an entrepreneur. She could have been single, someone that's not married. It's not like it was, I don't think that it was inappropriate in a way that she was cheating or something like that, though that could be your situation if that's what you resonate with. Take it however it fits with your situation. on the flip side of this, so that's the heavier, denser energy that could be sitting over top of everything. On the light side of it too, it's amazing that this card has these two sides right now, like they're showing me, and it could be both. The fact that this could be the energy of the person who created this trauma energy in him. It could also be the energy of success and being self-worth. It's like incredible, strong energy of self-worth and knowing in who you are and his light, where his light comes from. Now, it feels like it could be connected to money and power. We're gonna keep going. I have a feeling they're gonna reveal a little bit more about the energy of that, but it's the overlying energy for the entire thing. Past issues, this 9 of Wands. So these wands that are in the back here, it feels like this is how far he's gotten in his life. This is all the movement all of the things that he's accomplished in his life. He's gotten so far. It's like he is successful in his career. He has gotten a house. He's had kids. He had a divorce. It could be that he had all of these, like, I keep hearing conquests, like, like notches in a bedpost, like maybe he just kind of was always the perpetual bachelor and he enjoyed being that way. The overlying energy of being single and feeling successful in being single and not tied down to someone made him feel like he was the man. But he's not an arrogant person. He never knew why it felt like that to be that way. But it was never fulfilling to him. It was never fulfilling. That's one of his biggest issues, is that he just doesn't see it going anywhere. He doesn't see where all of that way of living was leading. That's like one of his biggest issues. He just never felt like he could get anywhere. There was something else. There had to be something else to make him feel like he was growing as a person. So recent past, something has shined the light on the possibility of what that is that's underlying. He's really started to go within. This could be the Virgo card. It could just be a validation for some of you that the person I'm talking about is a Virgo. Either way, just recently, something has happened to start to shine the light on the fact that the way that he's looked at things has not been quite, I'm hearing kosher. He's really started to go within and try to figure out what it is underneath the surface. What is it that's been bubbling? Crowning thoughts. 2 of Cups. This can be the twin flame card. This can be his connection with you, the divine feminine. This is the energy of his hopes and dreams being out there. Everything he's ever thought could exist in a loving relationship and in a connection, a divine connection, that's at the top of his mind right now. He's thinking about a pure soul relationship and what that feels like. Why has he never been able to, envision that? It's really on the top of his mind right now. And that could be because you guys have either been in communication or you've recently met. It could be that you recently met, and so your meeting has shown the light on that kind of connection and awakened him to the energy of that. Take it how it resonates for you. Yeah, well, okay, so the near future is the Hierophant, which is divinely guided. Witches. I just said witches. So it definitely feels like this program that he had running is bleeding over from a past life, in connection with some sort of witch energy. Um, that's for some of you. Um, and it is connected to the divine feminine side of things, where the religious programming comes in to keep these magnetic, powerful, magical, feminine beings playing it small and dim and persecuted for shining their light too much. The untruths and the control mechanisms within religion were meant to suppress that and to completely abolish that magic in women for many lifetimes. That's one aspect that they're just showing me connected to this divine masculine, his divine feminine as well. So if you resonate with some kind of witch energy, if you have had readings or it's been made known to you that you had a past life as a witch, and were persecuted for that or burned at the stake or whatever it is, I think we all pretty much have had past lives as witches. This reading coming up really soon is busting through. This is spirit coming in and saying, embrace the power of that, embrace the lightness and the darkness of that kind of energy, and find the balance within that in order to really work with union energy, work with divine feminine and masculine energy. This is coming in for him too, obviously, really soon. I'm gonna get a clarifier for this too, but this actually feels like someone specific's energy as well. It could be a mentor. It could be someone who is like a spiritual guide or a guru who connects with this masculine and shows him something. It feels like something's going to click into place for him about the fact that there was some sort of distortion in this interaction when he was younger, that he has some kind of sexual trauma that he was not aware of. It could be also that the sexual trauma that he wasn't aware of came from someone within the church. That's for some of you. The Hierophant does not always necessarily represent the church. It really is spirituality, but it may be that the key to unlocking that resides in someone's interactions with someone within the church. All right, can I get a clarifier for the Hierophant, please? All right, or 3 of them, 4 of them. Do I need all of these? All right. I'm not going to take reversals right now. Okay. All right. The energy of this, there's a spiritual person that's coming in. It could be a guru. It could be a reader on YouTube. It could be someone that he comes across on Facebook, someone he meets in person. It definitely feels like a specific energy that is spiritual, that shares an experience with him, or something a story that he's going to connect with that sparks some sort of resonance within him, that the 4 of Wands is about, or 4 of Swords is about healing, for sure. It's about rest. To me, I feel, I'm just going to say it. I feel an energy connected to this card that he was young, he was taken advantage of when he was sleeping by, it feels like a male energy. It could be a woman who was in distorted masculine energy. Definitely feels like someone older. And this is what he is working towards healing. It feels like he's going to come into the awareness of that having happened to him. Something happened to him when he was unaware of it. He was either sleeping, or it could be when he was a teenager. Like, there are situations that happen where he was drunk and passed out and just doesn't remember a situation like that. A situation like that. And it was an older person's energy that was masculine energy. Could be a woman. It was distorted sexual masculine energy that was working out of, the trauma energy on them as it was. They're letting you know that this is where his healing starts. He's going to be working really hard to figure this out and balance it and figure out. It's going to feel good on one side to have the light shine on it and that underlying current of something just doesn't feel right in my life, and to have that trauma, that sexual trauma, come to the light is both traumatic and like daunting, but also a relief at the same time, knowing that I knew that there was. It's kind of freeing. It's freeing for him, but it's going to be hard for him to balance. He's going to have to work on balancing this, and it's going to bring out a lot of emotions in his life, rocky emotions that he's going to need to work with and deal with right now. It's confusing. It's really confusing. But it's leading to just healing, healing, healing. And the ability to step into really making things happen for himself and his dreams come true and things like that. Shining the light on this is really important for him and for the Divine Feminine Collective, because it stops the program from running that makes him act certain ways towards feminine energies in his life. Fears. Yeah, so this could be the Gemini card. It could be that you or he is a Gemini, or this person that he, could be this overlying energy, the energy of this single older woman, could have been a Gemini. This is in the fears position, so yeah, he's didn't realize before that he was afraid, maybe he did realize it, that he's afraid of intimacy. True spiritual intimacy. And this is in a sexual way, expressing his emotions and actual love in a sexual way. He's probably never made love to someone before. He's never been in a place where he felt safe enough to. It was always physical. It was always primal based. It was always just, not just sex, because it just wasn't intimate. He's never known intimate sexual relation before. He's afraid of it. I don't think he realized that he was afraid of it before. How he's viewing this situation is Two of Wands. Making a decision to make a change, to make a decision and to make a change, that he is now free to make that decision for himself. It's like he had all of these wands before, and it was just the way, a man is supposed to go about his life, and these are the things that you do, and this is dictated for him, and, this is how you act in sexual situations, and now he gets to choose. That's how he's looking at this. He wants to choose. He wants to make a choice to not be afraid of real love and intimacy, and he wants to choose intimacy. He just doesn't know how, because he's scared of it, because of the fear program. This is his hope. He hopes. He hopes, and he wonders, and he has all of these dreams underneath of this density about destiny. He wants so bad to believe in destiny and magical divine connections and twin flames, and he wants so bad to believe in it. It's just he has a hard time feeling it and connecting with it physically, and that is connected to this sexual trauma. But he wants so bad to, he hopes for the realization and the moment where he could just step off the cliff and just allow himself to trust. It's trust. It's this underlying not knowing why he doesn't trust. He wants to trust. He wants to trust you. He wants to trust the universe. He wants to trust that he's a good man. He wants to trust himself. But that program, the underlying program of not knowing that what happened was wrong, creates an imbalanced stable foundation. It's based off of manipulation and kind of a lie. So it's meant to make him not trust, but also not know why he doesn't trust. These programs are fucking geniuses. I hate them. All right. So these are outcome cards. I'm going to get a clarifier for this Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles sometimes is about holding on tight to what he knows. But connected to the Knight of Cups, it's almost like he is taking a chance. He's been holding on so tight for so long, but he's wanting to take a chance at really saying, I love you, and feeling it for the first time ever, allowing himself to feel and say, I love you, to feel love, to deliver a message of love from a pure place. I don't think that he's ever done that before, really. So, Ace of Cups. I think he's really wanting to take this hood off and not hold on so tight. He really wants to let go and really just love himself. Allow that love to flow and to experience a spiritual kind of connection. It feels like he really does. He wants to not hold on so tight anymore. He's been holding on to this distorted kind of view of himself. It's the way that he knew love for himself. This person was a reflection of him and made him feel good, but underneath of it all, just so unsure of himself and self-worth issues and just doesn't know why. He really wants to speak out against that almost. It feels like he's really, the horse is a little bit unsure here, but he's almost just, he wants to push through it. He wants to barrel through it. Once he makes his mind up, and once the light is shined on the distortion that he didn't realize was there. Once that happens, he's going to push forward. He's going to take his emotions and wear them on his sleeve and own them. He just has a little ways to go. There's something that is coming to light for him. Some kind of spiritual experience is coming to light for him. If it hasn't already. This is near future energy, but for some of you, it feels like you're watching this sometime in the future, And this experience has now already happened for him, and he's in the middle of this balancing act. But the awareness is everything. Shining the light on it is everything. He just now has to kind of shift his perspective and say, okay, well, I didn't realize that situation was wrong. Is it wrong for a child to, I don't know, whatever the situation is for you guys? He's having to, it's like when a doctor has to set your bones, he has to re-break them in order to set them properly. It's almost like that's what he has to do. He has to reset, in his mind, his entire sexual being. Every experience that he's ever had in a sexual way, he's examining and saying, everything I know about that has changed. And the sexual identity of the masculine is so much more integral a part of his being than it is, I think, for the divine feminine, only because the divine masculine operates from a very physical base and in a physical way. The divine feminine does too. Her sexuality is everything for her as well. It's just that's been dimmed for so long. The masculine has been, in a distorted way, meant to function in his physical being through programs and through distorted visions, distorted lenses. Taking that lens off is going to be really disorienting for him for a little while. And he's got to reacclimate himself to who he is as a sexual being in connection with an emotional being and a spiritual being. Those things he's gonna bring into alignment. There's going to be a lot of healing when it comes to that, but the balance in the beginning is going to be a little bit hard. So there's going to be this kind of wobble. There's going to be wobbles. There's going to be this back and forth. And what we're going to do is go into the extended reading and let you know, as the divine feminine, how you can support the healing surrounding this situation and what you can do to help him by helping yourself. And I'm also going to get a message from this divine masculine to you. If this is where you are leaving off, if you're not going to go over to the extended reading, but you want to get some more information for your situation, all of my information for booking a reading or booking a guidance session is in the box below. Please consider doing that if you resonate with this. The healing that's going into this aspect of trauma energy and this karma that's coming up, this religious programming that's coming up to be healed, is very important for the ascension in the collective. So if you feel called to book a reading with me, or my divine masculine, he is dedicated to helping you guys heal this as well. All of his information is in the box below too. If you go on to my website and money is something that is holding you back from having a session, working through your healing, please get in touch with me and we will work something out. All right, guys. I will talk to you soon. Hang in there. And yeah, keep pushing through.